Welcome everybody to Out of the Draft Podcast, Season 4, Episode 10. We're here. I'm Dylan.
I'm Dylan Allen, aka DA.
I am DJ, aka Saintsboy_30, Treeboy_30.
I am Hunter, aka Shake and Bake 0301, aka this week Alan G. Lover.
Big man.
I'm Cody, aka Cody the Bear.
Awesome. How you guys doing tonight?
Not bad.
Pretty
Dude,
great.
thumbs up.
Pretty great.
It's a great day to be alive. I can tell you that.
It really is.
Horrible.
Is it?
Chase won last night.
Okay, we'll get into that, and we'll get into why he won soon. First, we did have a Saturday race at Martinsville. It was the O'Reilly race, which I thought it was going to be the best race out of the weekend. I think it was in my rating, but it was a lot of carnage for me. I gave it a 4 out of 10. I thought there was just too much wrecking and not enough racing. So that was my rating. What do you think, DA?
Hey, I can actually give you a rating this time because I actually kept up with it and watched the highlights. So, yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Like, it's so much chaos, but that's what O'Reilly kind of does with these short tracks, especially Martinsville. There's some like good racing though. I feel like it was easier to pass or at least make a run compared to the Cup Series cars. But I would say, I'd give it like around like a 5 probably. That's my rating.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It Allgaier kind of dominated it early on, and then like you said, carnage pursued. So I gave it like a 6. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm kind of closer to you, Dylan. I hated it. I'd probably give it honestly like a 3.5. I think I feel like every time the O'Reilly series goes to Martinsville, like you just know something stupid's going to happen, and that's kind of just what it felt like. I felt like the inexperience really showed this week, and well, I don't know what just happened to my computer, but I got distracted. Yeah, it's carnage, and it's not really. I feel like it's not good racing. And, I mean, I thought there was points of good racing, but for the most part, it was pretty. I mean, if I wanted to watch cars go slow, like under pace speed, I would just go hang out at the town square. So it's not really my cup of tea.
I wasn't able to watch much of it, but only the finish was all I seen. I didn't even watch the highlights at all either. But just off of like what I seen,
Fake
um,
fan.
I mean, like I can't give too much because like it was just a bunch of carnage and like not the best racing overall. Um, I'm gonna give it about like a 4 as well.
That's decent. I feel like we were definitely more negative this week than we have been for O'Reilly, which I know like O'Reilly has kind of been like the series that has lacked in just storylines, just pace overall. I feel like it's not been the same. Usually that's the best series, but it's been the truck series and this year for us. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't have a truck series race to watch. But there was a lot of, we said carnage, but there was Raja versus Jesse at the end of there. It was on the white flag, right? Like that was on the white flag when he got spun? Or was that like
think
the,
so.
It was a couple laps that led up to it, but he got dumped on the last lap.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't have much to say. I know it's honestly Martinsville. I'm glad Raja kind of owned up to it. The only thing I have to say that I didn't like is that the crew chief came up to Raja. Like, dude, no. Raja and Jesse are going to handle this, man. Like, don't involve crew members, especially not the crew chief. You should be a leader, not someone trying to cause chaos. That's just my opinion about it. Also, I didn't understand why Jesse was like, "Yeah, we just don't agree," but Raja took the full blame. Like, I don't. What do you not agree on? Like, do you think you should have took the blame? But anyways, that's just my opinion. How about you, Da?
Yeah, I can't lie. I didn't really see the incident like that. I think I saw it like once. I don't really remember, but saying Raja did spin Jesse at the last lap, right?
No. So Raja moved Jesse out of the way, and then because of that, Jesse lost a bunch of spots. But someone spun Raja because he
Yeah,
was being
Brent
so
Cruz
aggressive.
spun him.
And so that's kind of like what happened there. But Jesse
Yeah.
was mad at Raja. But so there
Okay.
you go.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Jesse has all the right to be mad. I mean, I know it's the last lap, so you're kind of like desperate to get as many spots, like get that spot or get the most points as possible. You know, I understand that, but I mean, I don't know where Brent Cruz came into the picture here. To be honest, how does it involve you? But I mean,
Just there.
yeah, just there. He wants to be the main character. I get it, I guess. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, yeah, Jesse has all the right to be like upset because you have a pretty decent run, like you're gonna get good points and just have Raja move you out of the way there. I would say it's kind of like more of like I would say like inexperienced, well, kind of, but like not. It's kind of like you're too aggressive. Like you think you need to get every single thing or every single point as possible. So I just think like he needs to tone it down just a tiny bit there. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. They kind of went back and forth those last couple of restarts, moving each other, and then at one instance, Raja just kind of just got in over his head, went in there, threw it in there, and pretty much wiped Jesse out of the situation. And they were 3 wide behind him, and Brett Cruz dumped him. But I agree with Dylan that crew chief should not be in that situation at all. Especially he came up there and he was like, "You better buckle your belts tight next week" and all that. Like, did and the fact is that Jesse was already talking to Raja before he even got out the car, and they were both calm. And then the crew chief comes out before Raja even gets his helmet off and all that. And Jesse played it like a professional. Raja handled it like a professional. Like, they're both young. I think they're both going to be in the Cup Series. So it sucks. Kind of a Martinsville racing deal, but that's just my view.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have a ton of thoughts like on the incident itself, like on track, but I think it's an awful look when you're a crew chief for a young, talented O'Reilly driver, and the young driver is telling you to calm down in a situation where he should probably be the one getting calmed down. Like the roles should have been reversed in that situation, if anything. Like Jesse should have been crashing out, and the crew chief should have been the mature one to calm him down. But when you have a kid telling you that you need to calm down, like maybe I don't really know. Like maybe the spotlight got to you last year. Like maybe you think you're bigger than what you are, but you're not. I know you won a championship last year, and it'll probably go down as one of the most undeserving championships of all time. And I think we talked about it, earlier in the year. Don't take anything away from Jesse Love. He did what he was supposed to do. Um, but just kind of the crappy format we used to have. But yeah, that's an awful look in my opinion. Like you're supposed to kind of be like a mentor in that situation. Like you're trying to get that kid to the next level, and you did an awful job at that. So just kind of need some self-reflection in the RCR camp after that.
Yeah, I think it was a horrible look on the crew chief himself. I don't understand like why. Like I get why he was upset of what happened and everything, but he shouldn't have been the one super mad over Jesse Love. Like Jesse Love, like Hunter said, should have been more mad than anyone else, especially over the crew chief. The crew chief. I mean, you're not the one racing the car. You're sitting on the pit box and just telling them what to do. But and then you're gonna come over and walk over to them talking already calmly, and then make it more chaotic when there's no reason to. I don't understand that. But I mean, these things happen, and obviously he has to learn from them. So uh, hopefully he can do better as a crew chief in general and be more calm in the future as well.
Do
Can I
want
have
to
one
say
more point?
one thing. Oh, no,
Oh,
you go first. Yeah, go first.
okay. Yeah, thank you. I like as a crew chief, I feel like you're supposed to be like way more mature. You're supposed to like tell your driver to calm. You're the one telling your driver to calm down, lock in. Just hit all your marks and all that. Like keep them calm, cool, not like overstressed. Like when you're acting out of line like that, what does that like reflect like in your driver's eyes? Like how does he see that? Does he see like is that how you're supposed to act, or is that what you're supposed to do? It's kind of like a bad image and influence on the driver, actually, because it's kind of like contradictory what you're trying to teach him.
Yeah, the one thing I was going to say is I agree with most of your point, Cody, but I don't want like necessarily like a crew chief that like I know you said like you're just sitting on the box, but at the same time like my crew chief better care. My crew chief better care what's going on. I know obviously he's not behind the wheel, but I think there's a right place and a right time to have like that passion. When you see your drivers already handling it and doesn't necessarily need help in that situation, it's probably not the time to do it. Um, we've seen like instances in the past where like I think it was KB and Truex when
Mm.
their crew chief was like in the box and the pit crew like I think that's just like it's funny to look back on, but at the same time it's like a trashy look almost on the sport. Like but yeah, I mean I want my crew chief to care, but place and time and that didn't seem like the right place or time.
Yeah, and going back to that analogy that you also brought up, he went to the team. Like he didn't go to the driver, which in my opinion, that's exactly what the crew chief should have done. If you're gonna be mad at someone, go be mad at the other crew chief. The driver, like he can control his driver, right? You're not whatever you say or do isn't gonna change the way Raja drives. I mean, he's gonna learn because everyone says that he like always asks questions like, "What can he do better?" Like that's like his mentality. But like what what are you adding to this conversation? Is the I think the point that he should have made. Now, if his driver wasn't getting involved, I think he could have been like, Jesse, you need to get involved. Like that. That is what he should be doing, not directly going. And I know that we all just said that, so it's kind of beating around the bush. I just, to me, that just looks bad. As a leader, that just doesn't look good. You're just not handling situations well. And so just imagine when the driver's getting into the fist fight, what's going to happen then, you know? But we did have a driver, which Dale Jr. is very known for this. We tried it with Josh Berry. He got a short track guy who has been running in the car store. Is that correct? Is that where he's from? I didn't look
Believe so,
much,
yeah.
um, but he had a shot in the O'Reilly series in the 9 car this week. What was y'all's thoughts about him? I honestly didn't have a lot. I know he ran well. I mean, it looked like he was fast. I know he made that huge pile up on the restart, but that was just being in the front, not knowing when to shift in those cars. I think that was just a mistake more than it was like, oh, he should never be in those cars again. I thought he was actually pretty fast um, for never being in a O'Reilly vehicle, but um, I know a lot of people on social media was giving Tommy Baldwin and uh, gosh, what is his name?
Luke.
Yeah, they were giving them crap because like um, he was in the car and we need to strip his hard card, right? Like, nah, dude, like that's just mistakes. I mean, they just don't know the cars yet. Like, it's not like they're not giving other drivers endangerment, and that's all that matters for it. So, what's your thoughts, DA, on
Yeah,
D?
like I mean, he was really good. He was very competitive. He was near the front near the whole race. It seems it is like really unfortunate that one mistake just leads into so much criticism, even though he's really not been in these cars before. It's really unfortunate, because I think he can like if he just keeps going at it and keeps like getting better in these cars, he could be a threat in the series. I think a couple years from now. But I mean, just that one mistake. It is. It seems like the people only like focus on that one big mistake, but nothing else to where you're competitive, and it's one side of the social media issue to where you focus on one thing but ignore everything else you did good.
Yeah, I thought he ran great. Like even the restart before that, he kind of spun the tires and checked them up a little bit. And on the radio, he just sounded so defeated. And he was like, "Dude, I'm sorry." Da, 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 da. And Junior was like, "Dude, you're on the front row in your first ever race. You're fighting for the win. You're good." And then he did it again, and that was the big checkup. And he just sounded so defeated. I feel bad for him. I'd love to see him come back and try it again because I mean he was competitive. I thought for a while there he was actually going to win it, but just sucks for that whole deal for him.
Yeah, I was impressed by him. Especially later. I mean, we didn't get a ton of long runs, but I felt like he was kind of able to roll the center on the outside line whenever he got put like on restarts. If he was on the outside, he was able to roll the center a lot better than a lot of other people and like kind of stay competitive. Um, and didn't really lose a lot of track position. So I was impressed by him. Are we touching on Luke Baldwin at all right now? Or are we just gonna?
You can. I didn't even think about him honestly. I was just more making a joke about the hard card because of DBC. But
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I
you
was.
you can go ahead and say.
Yeah, I was annoyed with people giving Luke crap and on like Twitter or X, whatever people want to call it now. I don't really put that on Luke. From like what I was told or what I read and what I heard, something broke in the car when he went to go into the corner, and that's why the brakes pretty much failed. Um, so it sucks. Like, I mean, Luke's talented. He is very talented. If you look at what he's doing when he goes and races in the car store or even other like series, like the modifieds that he races, he's talented. He's very talented. And he's young. I mean, is he 17, 18 years old?
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, so and he's in crap equipment.
yeah,
Like Tommy's trying to get him in there so he can get clearance to go race at a mile and a half and then to go race at super speedways to get him as much experience as he can because at the end of the day like you need experience and the fact that it's just people twisting the narrative. I mean, we talked about DBC, like they talked about how Cletus doesn't deserve to be racing this upcoming week, which in my opinion he doesn't. He does not deserve to be racing in the O'Reilly series this week. But then when something bad happens to Luke, it's like, oh yeah, but Cletus doesn't deserve to race, but your son does. Well, I mean, Cletus is racing in RCR equipment next week. He's not racing. What was Luke in this week? I don't even know who he was racing for. That's how rough it was.
yeah. It was the five for the dipshit card. That's what I heard. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Like, yeah. So I mean, it's just people love to twist the narrative to make themselves look better. But yeah, I I can't really say I was impressed with Luke because I didn't see enough of him, and then he was in a crappy car. But for Lee, I was extremely impressed. I hope to see him get another opportunity. Um, I'll be honest, I don't think he has the adaptability that Josh Berry has. I don't think he'll really equate to anything in the next series. But I think short tracks in the O'Reilly series, he can be extremely competitive.
Yeah. I've actually, so I can't say I'm impressed with him as in like necessarily running well. I knew he was going to be really good, but I'm impressed with coming into a car he's never ran before and having that much pace. I'm impressed with. Very impressive. But I've heard things about him and seen a few things well when he's running the car tour as well. So I knew he was going to come in and be fast. So that wasn't kind of surprising to me at all. I knew he was super fast in his car store and everything. So um, I've heard a couple things, just like necessarily trying to get more rides. I feel like is going to be his goal. I feel like it could be like a Josh Berry situation, not to adapt to maybe like the Cup Series or anything, but maybe possibly get like a full time ride the next year or two uh, in O'Reilly for JRM. I feel like that can definitely happen. Showing the pace is literally what Josh Berry did. Um, did Josh Berry win his first start, or was that a different start? I don't remember because I remember him
I
winning
believe it
in the
was.
Indy car.
I believe it was another start.
Yeah, I don't think it was
Okay,
Yeah,
his first one.
yeah. His first start, I think he finished like seventh. If I
okay,
remember it.
but yeah. I wasn't too impressed with Lee Williams as in like being fast, but very impressed for him coming in and being into a car that he's never been in before.
Awesome. Well, we did have a winner. Justin Allgaier does it again. I mean, there was, like I said, he went to the back after winning stage one. Did he end up winning stage one? Or
Yeah.
okay. I remember he went to the back. I just couldn't remember what stage it was, because he pitted and no one else and others stayed out just for the stage points, and he just got the victory. Um, a great future Hall of Famer there. DJ, you wanna you wanna give us our finishers there? You're definitely muted, by the way.
Justin Allgaier picks up the win. I believe his third win of the season already. Second, third.
Third.
Yeah, huge championship problem for these other guys. Corey Day, P2. I think that first win is coming. I think it's coming really fast. Sammy Smith, third, kind of quietly. Lee Pullum, fifth. Dean Thompson, seventh. Ross, I remember with like 10 to go, he was backwards. He gets back to eighth. Sorry about that. Brett Cruz, 10th. Parker Retzloff, 11th. I know, our Alan G lover. Okay. I don't know what my dog's barking at. Jesse Love, 12th. Taylor Gray, 13th. Starpoli, 16th. Yeah. Good cars that should be farther up. We had Raja, who obviously got spun on the last lap. Carson Quapo, who got caught up in that Leapolium ordeal. And Jeremy Clements just not having good luck this year.
Awesome, thank you.
There's one thing
Anybody
I want to
else?
mention.
Okay, go ahead.
Brennan Poole this season as well. He's been super impressive, especially being Alpha Prime Racing equipment. It's not the worst equipment, but there's definitely worse out there. Example, the 5 car. But anyway, I think he's been super impressive this season as well. He finished top 15. I don't know how many top 15s he has, but he's finished around there multiple times this season. So that's pretty impressive.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Yeah. My goat Parker got spun. Still came back and got an 11th place. The field better pray. They better pray every single week for the next year that 2 car don't open up and then it say Retzloff across the door. Because if it does, there's no point in showing up next season. There really isn't.
I think he's going to be a problem, and he just makes something out of nothing sometimes. It's incredible what he does.
You might as well just hop on the bandwagon while you can.
What his first Cup start, he finished third, fourth at Daytona.
I mean, he pushed.
That technically wasn't his first start. His first start was the week or 2 weeks before at Richmond.
I thought that was his first.
He didn't run poorly. I think he finished 2 laps down.
Yeah.
He probably would have finished 1 lap down, but I'm pretty sure towards the end the leaders were catching him and he kind of just pulled out of the way. But I mean, for your first run at Richmond and the third RCR car, which other than the 3 car, doesn't seem to be very good there. So sorry, DA.
Well, we move on to the Cup Series on Sunday. It was
Great race.
pretty. It was something. The Denny Hamlin dominated the race. He won stage 1, stage 2. He pretty much had the track position pretty much the whole time. Chase Elliott and Alan Gustafson made a huge gamble and tried to pit 3 times in the final stage versus just once. 3 runs 2 times in the final stage instead of just pitting once, and which got them to the lead. And then there was a caution once he got passed by Denny, where there was a brake rotor on pit lane. I don't know. I'm trying to look up the rules on that because I know we talked about it, Hunter. Was that actually a caution? I think it was, based off like equipment, like being hot on the pit road surface, so you couldn't just pick it up. But I still couldn't find the rules on that. But Chase Elliott is your winner. There was some carnage as well towards the end of the race, but honestly, it was pretty boring. Hard to pass. The tires did fall off. They all fell off the same, and so everybody was kind of running the same lap time. So I rated this race at 3.2, which is my lowest rating of the season. I hate that I hated this race so much because I really love this race at the end of it. But yeah, that's my rating. Da.
Yeah, this was one of the NASCAR races in NASCAR history. Um, like the tire fall off was, I didn't think it was enough. I mean, I wanted more, wanted more fall off, make it tires even more important. And like you said, I don't know, if it's just like these cars and or something. Just you can't pass worth a damn here. You're just like if you start in the back, I just think you're screwed. Unless you do some crazy pit strategy, of course. We had a couple cool moments, but outside of that, I mean, I kind of agree with you. I would say it's like a 3.4 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as y'all too. It was kind of boring. Uh, I think if Chase's strategy could have actually played out the way they wanted it to, I think it would get boosted because it would have been like, oh, that was pretty cool to see someone take that risk. But then all that carnage, not carnage, but the yellows fell and got back to square one. But I'm gonna rate it a little higher than I'm gonna go like a 4.
Yeah, I thought it was a 10. I thought it was a great race. No. I think if I take my bias, the bias of who the winner was out, I'll be 100% honest. I probably rate this like a 3.5. Um, I think this is another instance. We talked about it last week where stage racing kind of ruins this race. Um, I firmly believe that had the third stage gone green the whole time, like DJ said, I think you would look at it a little bit differently because you'd have the different strategies and it would have been really, really entertaining. Like we said, talking about the numbers, it would have been entertaining to see how that would have played out and that would have been fun. But I feel like, especially in this race, with it being the 400 lap race, um, the stages being 100, 100, and 200, you just don't really get to that point where the tires are like shredded. I mean, except for Chase apparently in stage three, where he like couldn't even drive it. But you don't really get to that point where you really see like the drivers take over, and you see like the talent disparity really kind of alter it. So I think I know I said last night that I don't think the fall race will be any better, but I think with the extra 100 laps, it might be. I think you might see, if it stays green in the stages, with it being 125 laps and 125, you might see at the end of those runs, somebody, struggling, or you could also see people kind of do what Chase did and, one stop in the stages and see if they can, split that in half. But it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, it was a very underwhelming race outside of obviously, for me who won it.
Uh, I thought it was like a below average race. And I just want to I mean, honestly, there's not even anything to say. It was a 1 because Chase won. I'm just kidding. Um, I I didn't watch much of the race. I watched mainly stage three a lot, so I seen like all like the strategy play out when it came to everyone starting to pit, and then the caution came out. I feel like it was kind of a dumb caution in my opinion, for what happened where it was on track. It was on pit road, and you're not going that fast. You're going 30 miles per hour, and you can avoid it, going down pit road like that. But obviously, nobody's gonna go out there and touch it and pick it up themselves. So that's kind of a thing you want to look out for because, yeah. Um, but I thought the strategy was nice to see. I thought it was a wild call for, well, especially Allen, out of everyone, to make a call like that. To pit early, hopefully get some track position, which he did. The caution came out, which was good for him. I think they really wanted it to play out more than what it did. I feel like obviously it was the right time for a caution, but I think they wanted it to play out fully to see like an example for like maybe when they come here later in the season. Um, which Hunter, I agree with like the fall race being more exciting when it comes to that and like more strategizing. Well, I remember when me and Dylan went to the fall race a couple years ago, and like the end of the runs were just phenomenal. Like there was constant passing, it was like constant bumping, constant moving. Like it was amazing battles, and that's when Blaney moved Larson and then went back to him. That was a good time. But I think it'll be a better race in the fall. I think just because of different time of day as well, it'll be better. But this race overall, it was definitely like a 3 for me.
I also like what you said about the fall. One thing about concrete with these tires, I feel like under the lights, it makes the tire a lot better because then the fall racing kind of ends at night, and so the last run it's super great, especially with the way the tires work and the way the rubber falls. Um, I think we gotta. I think Goodyear needs to invest in that and like, hey, if we have a concrete track, it needs to be a night race. Obviously, Bristol, you don't want to have two Bristol night races. That doesn't make sense. But I just think the tire and the way the sun hits the track changes the way the tires actually work. Um, so that's just my thoughts. I know that we're done with that. We also had more driver versus driver, but this one it was Bubba versus Carson Hocevar. Um, my immediate thought to this was Bubba needs to cool it. Like this can't happen. Like you can't be mad for a clean 3 wide pass on the restart. Honestly, he didn't. I mean, yeah, he rubbed him, but it wasn't anything more than deserved. Like, hey, a bump the next corner, but a whole shove into the corner, and then you let off of him, and then you just gas it right back up in the center, and just destroy him. I don't. We've seen Bubba do some very not great character things in the race car. We've seen him, right hook the 5 after he got walled. There's just things that he does. And, Chase has right hooked Denny, right? And I didn't agree with that either.
Deserved.
But, like, you just can't do that. Like, you're. This is not the playoff era, okay? It's fine if you want to go do that, tear up race cars because, next week you can go win and you're locked in. But you just went from, like, third in points to 11th, tied for 8th, because you're just an idiot. Like, that's stupidity for me. Hopefully he sees it that way. Hopefully he learns from it. I didn't see anything that Carson did wrong. I just hate it for everyone else that got tore up for it. DA?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just childish, man. I mean, there's like times I really want to like Bubba Wallace, but he just does some dumb things like that. I think he's a great person out of the car. I think he's funny. He's a good person to be around, but then he just gets in the car and just does some stupid stuff that absolutely ruins his team and just costs them and puts them in a deficit that they don't need to be in at all. And it's hard to get out of. Like I said, this is about the chase. You need all the points you can. If you keep tearing up your race car and ruining it over some dumb stuff, you're just gonna find yourself in a hole you're not gonna be able to get out of, man. And I mean, I don't know what Denny like thinks about it, but it's probably not really good. It's a bad look for like your team, and it just ruins the hard work of the people in the shop.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like you said, Husafar really just caught Bubba sleeping on the restart, honestly, and made it 3 wide. And like you said, there was a little bit of contact, and even that little shove in the turn 3, it was a little overboard. Like he sent them. Like if Carson wouldn't have checked up for Briscoe like he did, it probably wrecking Briscoe too. But even then, just leave it at that. But then he just completely just drives through him, and then complains on the radio saying, "Oh yeah, we're wrecked." You wrecked yourself. Like I've really started to like Bubba over the years now. Uh, but man, it's simple mistakes that he makes sometimes. And like you said, it's not the playoff era no more. You can't go out there and be like Joe Logano and tear your car up every weekend and get hot at Nashville and luck up into a win, then go to Phoenix and win. Like you got to be good all year. So he just, like you said, he needs to learn from it, get better. I mean, you're sitting good. 2311 has fast cars this year, really fast cars. Like you're in a spot where you could potentially win a championship.
Yeah. Um, I I don't know. Like I think it's a product of being a little bit frustrated with the move. Um, I think it's a product of having higher expectations because Martinsville is historically a place where Bubba runs pretty well. And I think it's really a product of the fact that his teammates kicking his ass every single week in the same equipment. And it all just kind of came together and Carson was the straw. Like, I mean, I feel like Carson's an easy target because he's always doing something, kind of stupid or aggressive,
Yes,
and it's just like,
yes, good point. Exactly, it's who it was. I think if it
yeah,
was anybody else, I don't think he would have lit it that much.
yeah. So I think it's a product of everything happening, and then, like we said, Carson kind of just being the one to light the fuse, and it blew up. I've been big on Bubba. I'd say the last 2 years, ever realistically, ever since he became a dad. I thought once he became a dad, he just kind of mellowed out. It almost seemed like he stopped taking racing as serious as he was, which I think early in his career he was taking it too serious. Like every single week was life or death for him. It seemed like he wanted to win, and when he didn't win, he was like having like Kyle Busch temper tantrums, but he wasn't good enough to have those temper tantrums. Um, so it sucks. It really sucks because I feel like he's done a really good job as of lately, kind of like building back his reputation in NASCAR after the whole ordeal in at Dega. Um, I feel like it's just a bad look for him. I mean, at some point, I think it's okay to blow up, but do it like Blaney, just blow up on the radio, and continue to race. I mean, Blaney could have freaking he could have pulled a Gordon and just waited for Day to come back around the track after the contact that they had. But I didn't really think he said anything on the radio. I think he just went about his business. But I think that's what Bubba needs to kind of learn how to do. I mean, when you get in these situations, you can't freaking just destroy. I mean, if you're gonna wreck the one dude, wreck him. But this is the second time that you've intentionally wrecked somebody, and you've harmed innocent bystanders. I mean, Vegas, when he wrecked Larson, he took out Christopher Bell, and it put Seabell in a must-win situation. Which, I mean, luckily for Bubba, he did. And then he basically junked half the pack yesterday, throwing a temper tantrum at Martinsville. So um, I'm the type of person that I mean, I'm a hothead myself, so like I'm okay with getting back at people, but don't involve other people. There's I guess I'll go back to what I said earlier. Time and place. There's a time and place. If you want to get him back, go get him. Go get him in a couple weeks at a mile and a half when it's just you and him, and there's no cars until like 3 seconds behind you. Then hit him going into the corner. Like, but you can't involve half the field in your own drama because you're throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah, I have to agree with what Hunter said. I'm not saying he is, but I feel like we both have the reputation of being a hothead ourselves. So like he said, I'm all for them going back and getting payback, but like having like involving innocent bystanders is like insane. Like that's something you shouldn't do, especially as a driver. And the point system that we do have, and when you're trying to build your reputation back up as yourself, to have a good reputation and be a better driver. Personally, um, I think it's something that he needs to stop doing. He definitely chilled out a little bit, like Hunter said, since he became a dad. But I think he still has those moments where he continues to complain a lot, but there's nothing wrong with complaining. I mean, Blaney does it, but then he goes on and wins. So I mean, it's kind of like a different situation for Blaney. Uh, Bubba, it's kind of like I mean, he complains for valid reasons, but then he like over complains sometimes, and it's not a problem with that. But it just I think it affects him as a person and his race and his thought process as well. Uh, I feel like I think he definitely needs to work on it himself, um, and to be a better person. I think the situation. Uh, I'm not. upset at him moving him out the way a little bit, but when he gassed it back up into him and wrecked half the field, that's where it drew the line for me. Like I don't mind him helping him on the track, but him doing that was just unacceptable. And he probably, I wouldn't say obviously a penalty for it, but like Danny should probably talk to him, or something like that uh have a better understanding on what like he should do next time when it comes to that. Like waiting a few weeks or at a mile and a half, like Hunter said. Like I think that's a better thing to do. You might be higher speeds, but you're not going to involve innocent bystanders.
Yeah, you can
And I
wait
mean,
till
if you bump into
Pocono and then Durham coming in on one.
This is boss is
yeah,
special,
that's
man.
what Disney probably tell. Hunter thought that was funny. Jeez. But yeah, I'm like 50-50 on it. Like I'm all for giving payback, but I'm also it wasn't that aggressive of a move to uh do that aggressive of a payback at the time. But I'm sure our friend Mike was upset at a 3 wide move at Martinsville. So that was that was probably a thing.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. I love that. That's funny.
People catching strays.
You're getting dumped tonight, dude. If you watch this, you're
I
getting
hope he,
dumped.
I hope he's watching, dude.
That's
That's
so
gonna be
funny.
so great if he is.
Any other things you like to add? I had Chase Elliott as a topic, but I think most of us talked about him specifically. Um, if you want to add
Oh,
something, I want to add one more thing. I think this is the Chase Elliott that you see when you give him the track position, when you make calls like this. This is who I became a fan of. Okay, back in 2011 when he was running ARCA and then nine Aaron's car. This is the driver who he is. Okay, uh, I know that people was like he's like third best driver in the next gen. At the last couple of years, yes, but I don't think it was because of the driver. I think some of it had to do with the driver and the way he communicated. I don't disagree with that. I think the way he talks about the car is difficult to understand, but that's who Alan. You should know what he's talking about, and I feel like you don't half the time. Um, but congratulations, like really, really congratulations to the nine Hinder Motorsports. Um, you know, I this is what I expect. This is the expectation. You didn't dominate the race, so you still have room to improve after you won, right? Like that is the goal here. As a Chase fan, but also as a race fan, you have to understand, like he flat out, yes, there was a lucky caution. Yes, he had a strategy. But he drove the crap out of the car and held off the best driver in the race. Okay, there may have been bad air, but he had plenty of laps to catch him, pass him, and he just didn't. Um, I know he said something with the right rear being loose or whatever that may be, but Chase drove the wheels off of it. And that's all I have to say.
I personally would like to thank Alan for watching last week's episode, and taking what I said, and kind of, just involving it this week. We saw it was very hard to pass this week. So what did Alan do? He didn't leave him out there super long. He didn't leave. He was the first one to pit, man. The first one to pit. I was so happy. I knew right then and there that we were throwing a Hail Mary. We were throwing caution to the wind. We were going for something different because we weren't going to win where we were. I, we talked, like, I said about the numbers earlier, where the two stops still might have worked. We don't know. We'll never know. The world will never know how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. All right. But Allen took a chance. He didn't just, say, all right, well, running eighth right now. After the two cars ahead of you pit, we're going to run 5 more laps and then we're going to pit. And we'll have 5 lap fresher tires the rest of the way. He said, all right, well, you said you can't drive it. Bring it in. Let's try something. Brings him in. The caution falls at the right time. And it's just, I feel like being a Chase fan, there's been so many times where, Chase has had, I don't want to say race winning cars, But he's had good enough cars to compete in the front, and you need to be in the front to have a chance. But instead, Chase will finish 10th to 15th because you don't take any risk. Which in the old format I never understood. I mean, like go for the win. I mean, in this, sometimes I can be a little bit more okay with it because every point matters. But like just to see Allen finally take a chance, and I know we didn't get any stage points yesterday, so we are the first person to ever win a race and not score the most points in the race. Denny did score 56 points, and Chase scored 55 because Denny also had the fastest lap. Um, but it was something that needed to happen. It was something that needed to happen. Allen needed to take a chance. Chase bought in on it. Chase sounded confused over the radio when Allen told him to pit, but I think that kind of also goes to show that they have trust and their relationship is really good because Chase said, okay, and just brought it in. Um, so I think that's huge. I also think it's huge because people were really freaking out about Chevrolet and the new body. And I mean, I made a comment about it last week. Like, I wasn't necessarily extremely worried about it, but it was good to see Chase win. I thought Byron ran really well. He was the only person to actually, really pass Denny the whole race, it seemed like, other than, when people had fresher tires. I know JHN kind of held Denny up, but. It was good to see the Hendrick guys run well. Hosabar, when he had his all of his fenders on, I thought he ran decent. Um, but yeah, so it was good to see the Chevys run well. But it was huge. I think it's going to be huge momentum for Chase and Allen too. I think this is 2 wins in the last 15 races for
Yeah,
them. If I'm not,
I
and
think
my math might be off, but
I think he was on a 13 race winless streak.
how
With that graph.
convenient.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
So yeah, so I mean that was huge, and I feel like a lot of people, like you said, they want to act like Chase is the third best driver. Well, the driver in front of him that's the best driver is the best driver in the world. So whatever, it is what it is. He's beatable, obviously. He hasn't won a race in almost a calendar year at this point. Um, and then you got Byron, who is extremely consistent. And he's competing for wins, but at the same time, like it felt good to see that 9 team up there showing that they are a legitimate contender. I mean, I feel like Chase is known that it's known he's gonna have consistent points day. He's gonna be right there in the points. But to go up there and challenge for a win, it felt really good, and to obviously get the win felt really good. And it was nice to get the better of Denny this time, unlike Vegas.
There's something I want to say about Chase as well. It wasn't in our bowl predictions that we had, but early on in the podcast, first couple episodes when we did our championship predictions, when I said Chase was going to win the championship, um, I still feel that way. I think it took a win for him to get momentum and start even winning more. Um, did he win 1 or 2 races last year?
Two,
2.
I can't remember.
Two.
2?
Echo
Okay.
Park in
I knew it was one
Kansas.
of the two. Oh, yep. That was Dylan. Oh, you seen Echo Park? Yeah, I think Dylan was there for Echo Park, right? You were?
Yeah,
Was it
I
that
was
year?
there.
Was it that
Yeah,
year? Okay,
yeah.
I thought you were. But I said that Chase is going to be the first one for Chevy in general, and HMS. I think, and it obviously stands. It's my prediction was correct, and I'm very proud to say that. Um, and even a Chase fan himself, as Dylan, thought Byron was going to be the first one. And he was like, I told him after the race was over, I said, I told you, Dylan, told you Chase could be the first one for Chevy. He was like, trust me, dude, I didn't believe you. But man, it's nice for him to win. I feel like even though I'm not a Chase fan myself, but I do like him as a person, and his driving. He's definitely like a top. He's definitely a top driver for me that I do like over everyone else, and I'm glad to see him win again, and I hope he can honestly win more, just to see my brother happy, honestly. So that'd be nice. But yeah, I think Chase has been pretty good, and he's going to continue to do well.
Sorry,
Awesome.
man. Larson's winning Bristol, dude.
I
It's fine.
I could see it really. Like I'm not even
I don't see it. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
Go ahead and put the car in victory lane. It's happening.
DJ, someone's put a full calendar here, dude. Chill out. It's okay.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
When's the last time Eric Jones won? Exactly.
It was
Whoa,
Belichick
man,
2022, right?
he's a C Bell fan, man.
Yeah.
And
Seatbelt
both,
winner.
man.
Yeah, Seatbelt winner fan. Eric Jones, actual fan.
Good run, fan.
yeah, good run. Well, congratulations to the 9, Chase Elliott, Allen, and the whole HMS team.
DA, did you have something? I saw you unmute the mic, man.
You know what? Yes, I want to go on a little bit of a tangent real quick.
Okay.
Oh lordy.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Listen up, Mister.
Mr. Childress.
RCR.
What in God's green earth are we doing today? Listen. So I don't understand what's going on with these short track cars and why they're so damn terrible. Like I can take a Martinsville Glizzy and throw it on the track and it'll go faster than those RCR cars do. It's incredible stuff. I mean,
the Nuke Red hot dog. Are
yes,
you
I can throw that
serious?
on the track
Yeah,
and
the
it go faster than those
nuclear
RCR
red.
cars. It is complete utter bullcrap. What we're doing here, you're ruining my ghost career. Though he is a little washed, I will admit that. It's tough to hear. It's coming from my own mouth, right? But I mean, dude, we gotta figure something out, dude. I mean, oh my god, we are so bad on the short track.
But I don't think he's that washed. Hear me say this. Like he can go out and win a truck race anytime he gets in. O'Reilly, he hasn't been in a while, so I can't really say like if he could go do that. But like I know like the truck series is not the same, but he can still just go do that. Like that just shows that he still has the drive. It may not be the same, but like I think it's more RCR than it is Kyle Busch. So
I'd say in that
I
little
just
video.
I just want you to know here from a person who roots for Kyle but I don't care if he wins or not. Like I want him to be successful because when he's successful, NASCAR is. He brings a lot to the sport. Sorry, go ahead.
For sure. No, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it does feel better to hear that because I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's been over 100 races, man. I mean, freaking Craven, dude, missing out all these wins. He used to be dominant, dude. Just not getting the good equipment. It's just tough
Yeah, it looks
to
like he's
see.
starting to hate losing again.
Jeez, yeah, I know. I mean, I think Richard's just flexing his watch too much, man. He's going around like Shadur, busting on his AP. Perfect timing, man. It's tough business out here, bro. It's horrible. It's just tough.
I was trying to pull what Shake did last week with the LNG.
I just don't get it, man. It's so tough to see it. I can't wait for the day he gets out of that car and goes to somewhere better, hopefully. Or if somehow by the miracle of Jesus himself, those cars get better. Thank you for attending my TED Talk.
That's awesome. Well, we did have other finishers other than Chase, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch in the
Who
rear.
cares?
Hunter, would you like to get some notables? We can run this fast, and then we'll get through the points really fast. Just do the playoff points, or the Chase points, and then go on.
So am I doing the results first?
Yes,
Notable
you're
finishers?
doing the results. I don't know who's doing the points. I forgot.
Me and Cody.
I got
yeah,
O'Reilly.
okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Denny finished P2 after sweeping the stages, secured the most points, getting the fastest lap as well. Joey Logano with a huge bounce back week after a really rough Darlington, finished in third. Ty Gibbs, been the king of consistent so far this year with a fourth place finish. Willie B was rounds out your top 5. Blaney, after some contact with Denny, he was still able to manage a 6th place finish. Austin Cindric, back-to-back good runs for him. He finished 8th. Josh Berry rounded out your top 10. SVG finished 11th. He ran really well. Good race from him. Ryan Priest, 12th. And Brad Kay, another decent week. He finished 13th. Briscoe managed to get a 14th. I don't know how. I feel like he was a lap down every every time I looked up at the screen. He was getting lapped, but got the lucky dog. We saw the first sign that Tyler Reddick was human this week. He finished in 15th. Hocevar with a banged up race car finished 17th. Daniel Suarez was 20th. Allgaier finished in 22nd. Thought he ran okay for not having a ton of experience in these cars at this track. The RCR cars of Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon finished 24th and 25th. Notable bad finishers, obviously Bubba, he finishes 36th. After causing the incident, Riley Herbst back where he belongs, he finished in 35th. And John Hunter Nemechek, he finished 29th, but he was interesting because he was a menace for Denny the whole race. Yeah, you'd think, being in a Toyota, they'd work a little bit better together, but JHN not very friendly with Denny. So he finished in P29, and those are your notable finishers. And if you want, I can go through the standings real quick as well.
No, I have Cody doing
Okay.
O'Reilly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and do those real
I
quick.
want to add something on real quick to Nemechek, just real quick. Every time we saw him on the camera, bro had more and more damage each time. That was insane. Like one time he had just like some bumper damage, and then the front bumper next time we seen him was dented in. Like what was going on in his race? But I'll go over the O'Reilly standings. First we got Allgaier continuing to get away from Jesse Love as well. Jesse Love in second, Sheldon Creed in third. That's my dad. So proud of him. Austin Hill in fourth, Carson Kvapil in fifth, Sammy Smith in sixth, Corey Day in seventh, O'Reilly 2026 champion in eighth, Parker Retzloff in ninth, Raja Karuth in 10th, 11th, Sam Mayer in 11th, and Taylor Great rounds up the top 12 and 12th. And then if we want to get some like notable standings as well, Anthony Alfredo in 13th, Ryan Sieg 15th, Brendan Poole 16th. We mentioned him earlier. And Brent Cruz in 21st. Unfortunately, just him not being able to run every single race kind of hurts him. But now he is able to since he's 18 now. So that's good for him. And I think he'll start to gain more points and make his way to the top 12 as well. So that's about all I have for me.
DJ.
The cut points, we got Tyler Reddick still the leader. I'm pretty sure the gap shrinked a little bit to Blaney. It's now 82. Blaney's in second. Denny in third, down 94. Chase Elliott up to fourth. He is 104 back. Then William Byron with 115 back. Ty Gibbs 131. Christopher Bell 141. Then a four-way tie for eighth place, all at 147 back, is Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Chris Buescher, and Bubba Wallace. Joey with this huge bounce back week, 12th. Ryan Preece 13th. SVG is actually holding on really strong in 14th. Then you got the three Spire cars in 15th, 16th, 17th with Carson Hocevar, Daniel Suarez, and Michael McDowell. With McDowell being the first car out, Cindric right there as well as Ross Chastain. Briscoe is making huge gains. He's up to 21st in the standings now. And just look on a Connor Zilic update. He is now 33rd, 273 points back, with a total of 80 points scored on this season.
Can we mention Cole Custer in 34th with 67 points? Just wanted to point that out.
Thanks.
No problem.
That's so funny. What is next? Oh, the paint scheme review. All right, do it really fast. I'm gonna share the screen now, if you wouldn't mind.
I know two that better be on there.
Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Which one are we looking at here?
Looking at the one of Carson Kvapil. Nice little design, it's solid. Nice black number in the middle just to make it pop a little bit. It's just all around solid scheme, especially with the little detail that the animal there on the end.
I don't know who ran this car to be honest, but I thought it was a pretty nice scheme as well when I seen the scheme on track, and then just like a picture of it as well in the wreck, I guess, in the thumbnail. But I think it's a good looking scheme overall. I think the little blocks design going across the whole race car looks nice.
right, next we got the 44 Brennan Pool. Nice, solid. I like how the scheme looks. This is such a good looking scheme. It's like the color, like just switches in the middle of the car. I mean, you
No,
can't go wrong
that's
with
hot.
black and white. Yeah, you can't go wrong. And it's like the yellow number is such an underrated part. Like the outline on like the splitter there. It just makes the car pop and just brings everything together.
Nice.
Yes.
We have Ross
You gave me like the worst pictures
was,
I've ever seen.
yeah.
Just wait, it
It
gets
looks
worse.
so funny.
It
Oh
gets-
no.
I know there's even worse ones. Chastain, it's hard to kind of tell with the yellow reflecting off the number. But we've seen SVG run this Coda, but I think the scheme looks way better with the blue chrome instead of a white number. That's why I like it more. I love like the purple streaks going down the whole car. I think that looks really good, really clean.
And, oh my god. Anyway, next we got the 4 no grace, and it's like the colors used on this car with the dashes. It looks really nice. The pink, I'd say like the more brighter pink on the bottom. It kind of reminds me of like that Matt Kenseth scheme you ran like the 2010s at like Talladega when you won, when Tony Stewart was on top of the pack. Kind of brought back some good memories there, at least with the color scheme. But all in all, with all the colors together, it makes for a really good paint scheme.
I knew this one was going. If Shane Gisbergen in the Super Falls car, I think we've seen this at Daytona. I think it's where you run it before. I love this design. I love like the lightning and like the whatever that guy is. I don't know. It just looks really cool to me, and it. I really caught my eye being black and green, and it really pops out on the racetrack as well.
Right now, we went to the 19 of Burke Cruise. I mean, come on, it's a Mobile One scheme with the horse on the side. You cannot go wrong. Just the red, white, and blue makes it pop and flashy. Just a solid scheme, and just like just the white base that they just puts the scheme like really makes it all together.
We have Garrett Smithley in the Paperclips car. I think this is one of the funniest designs I've seen in a little bit. And I think it's really cool that they kind of went with this for the Paperclips, they call it. And I love like it. It kind of reminds me of like the Michael Waltrip racing car. I think it was Mark Martin that ran it. The Bluegrass car as well. I think it kind of reminds me of that. And I always like that scheme. I feel, in my opinion, I think this kind of resembles it, and it looks really good to me.
Moving on to the Intimidante, the number 77 of Carson Hocevar. I mean, come on, blackout, you can't go wrong. Reminds you of Dale Senior, man. You just come on, man. That scheme is just perfect.
Mwah.
Cool.
Oh my lord!
That picture does not do that scheme justice.
The actual picture itself, really hot, but this version of it, not. The Hardee's design, new sponsor for them. I guess they replaced McDonald's, is what I heard. Um, I think the star on the side, just I don't know, it makes it look funny. It makes it look cool. I feel like, especially as like a kid, it makes you stand out. And it makes you look at that scheme. It catches your eye. Um, and I love like the main black and then like, just the yellow and red going down the side. It kind of reminds me like a kind of like a simple, like a really simple modern scheme, but it kind of gives like the vibes of like an older kind of scheme as well, back in like the early 2000s or 1990s or something like that. I think it looks really cool, and I love the red number. It makes it pop as well. I think this, I think it would have been better in Victory Lane since I picked him to win, but he ended up in the garage. So, but it still looked good.
I agree completely. I mean, you look at Hardee's, he reminds you of like the Cale Yarborough days where he ran that iconic number 28. But with this, it's just a modern twist on that. Like that, like the cursive Hardee's with the star. It's just like in the perfect placement. Just so satisfying. It just makes it look so clean and fresh.
Is that all of them?
Yep.
So yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for the paint scheme review. It is time for our news/TV ratings. I'll start with the TV ratings first. Darlington's Cup race got 2.429 million viewers. It's down 3% from last year's Darlington race, but it's down 1% for last year's week equivalent, which was Homestead. So we're still down. We've been down almost every race besides Daytona. Some news. Darius Rucker joined LCM as an investor. He will bridge sports, music, and fan experience. Tyler Reddick, reported by The Athletic, is close to making a deal with 2311. Two track presidents depart from NASCAR. Talladega's track president, former track president, Brian Crichton. I don't know how to say his last name. It's Crichton. And then Auto Club Speedways, former president Dave Allen has parted ways with NASCAR. Campy World is coming back to the Truck Series for the sponsor for San Diego. And then we had the Hall of Fame nominees. I will read these really fast, and I will explain what they did. Greg Biffle, he was a truck champion and a rally champion. He also had. They didn't also talk about his Cup wins, which was weird. I don't know why I said that. Neil Bonnet, 18 Cup winner, consecutive Coke 600 victories. Tim Bruce, 2-time Cup champion crew chief. Jeff Burton, 21 Cup wins, includes Southern 500 and 2 Coke 600s. Randy Dorton, built engines that has won over 9 Cup championships. Ray Elder has won 6 ARCA West championships. Ernie Elliott was the 1988 Cup champion crew chief, 2 Daytona 500s and 2 Southern 500 wins. Kevin Harvick, he's in hack. Also, the 2021 Heartburn Turn recipient. I'm just kidding. I will tell you his stats. He is the 2014 Cup champion. He has 60 Cup Series wins, not including his O'Reilly and truck wins and his stats there. Obviously, he's the first ballot. No questions asked. Randy LaJoy, 2 Busch Series championships. Jack Sprague, 3 Truck Series championships, is your modern. Now we go to the Pioneer. Ray Fox, 14 NASCAR Cup winner as an owner. Harry Hyde, 1970 Cup champion. Benjo Matthews, 250 Cup Series wins. He built these cars. He built cars that has 250 wins, and then 3 championships. Herb Nab is a 2 Cup champion crew chief, 2-time Cup champion crew chief, and 92 wins. Larry Phillips is a 5-time NASCAR Weekly Series champion. And that is your ballot. There's also another thing that they're going to be voting on. I don't know what that is. But yeah. Any surprises there or thoughts?
I feel like there's one. In my opinion, there's only one obvious first ballot.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's Harvick. I feel like the rest can kind of be argued. I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, because obviously, it was tragic what happened with Greg Biffle. But I hope that doesn't impact the voters. I don't think that he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my personal opinion. I believe that he eventually does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But I don't want, obviously, the recency bias and the tragedy to be the reason he gets in. I want his legacy on the track to be the reason he gets in. And I don't think his resume is worthy of it being first ballot.
Agreed.
Yeah. That's...
Yep, shut up my dog Herb Nab, man. First ballot, bro.
Okay. Hunter, it is time for your segment of In the Draft questions. It'll go DA, DJ, Cody, myself, and then you can answer your own question if you have thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, we just talked about the Hall of Fame, and one of the trending things around NASCAR this week was the take that lower series people did not belong in the Hall of Fame. So my question to you all is Justin Allgaier a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely, he's a Hall of Famer. Tearing up in the O'Reilly, or previously mentioned Xfinity Series for so long, man. He's winning a lot of races, won a championship. I mean, I don't know how this dude's not going to be a Hall of Famer. You know, I'm pretty sure. What didn't he say? Like it's that like Xfinity or not Xfinity O'Reilly. Do not take a point off, please. And Truck Series are like should not be like introduced into it, which is dumb because like normally I say like you're allowed to have your opinion on that. You're just wrong at that. You're just wrong at that with that opinion. But he's a surefire Hall of Famer. I don't know about first ballot or not. Maybe it's first ballot, but he's definitely a Hall of Famer in my eyes.
Yeah, plain and simple, yes. Like, he's going on a he's been in that series for a very long time, and not gonna say 100% dominating, but like he's been that guy at Junior Motorsports for the last couple of years. And you look at this season, you're like, bro, like he's still going. Like that was just a stupid take, in my opinion.
No, I think it was a stupid take as well. I think he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think his skills and what he's done for the sport and in the series that he's in himself, and how he's brought multiple people up while being at Junior Motorsports, continuing to coach them and make them better. Something that he's also done as well. I think that really affects his standpoint. Like there's been people like Reddick. I mean, Noah Griffin hasn't necessarily succeeded in the Cup Series, but he was pretty successful in as mentioned before, Xfinity, and now O'Reilly. And like just been so many people that he's coached and taught to do much better in the series of what they're in. And I think that kind of suits him to be a higher stance and to be in the Hall of Fame as well.
My take is going to be a little controversial, but I don't think that he's not a Hall of Famer. Okay, but I also don't think I understand the point that they were making. Okay, I do because
I was going to be the only one.
I don't disagree that the Cup driver should have a ledge up, especially when it comes to you're putting your ballot down when they actually make the vote. Okay, because your Cup, that is the pinnacle of stock car racing. Okay, so in my opinion, so for instance, Greg Biffle, he is a truck champion. He's an O'Reilly champion, but he's not a Cup champion. Okay, if he gets out, let's say he outvotes Kevin Harvick, and that won't happen. I know it won't. But let's say that's the case. Wrong. Absolutely not the case. That should not happen. I do think that the Hall of Fame the way we do it can also change just a tad bit, because I think that we also let a lot of people in our Hall of Fame that may not necessarily be in it. I struggle with saying that because I've always felt like it's not the Hall of Fame, it's the Hall of Average. And I think the Hall of Fame should be champions of the pinnacle of the sport. Doesn't mean it can't be O'Reilly and it can't be truck champions. But if we're letting Jeff Burton, who has 21 Cup wins, just be on there without any championship, okay, across the board, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But should he be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. My answer is yes. But I just don't think he should be on the first ballot.
All right, so I really thought that I was going to be the only one with like the different take. So here is where I'm trying to find the stat before I say this. So essentially, what we're saying with Justin Allgaier being a Hall of Famer is that if he was to retire, if this guy was to retire tomorrow, this guy. Well, actually, I'm not even going to tell you who it is. You all might pick up on who this person is. They're a two-time champion in the lower series. They won a truck championship and a nationwide championship. They have won the Daytona 500 and they have won the Coke 600. Should that person be a Hall of Famer? They have, or I'll tell you how many career wins they have in Cup Series. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I should have had this up, but this is where I need Dunboy.
Need and done boy in the same sentence is crazy.
Stat boy does do something for us. He has 6 wins in the Cup Series. Is this person a Hall of Famer?
Is it Jamie McMurray?
No, it's Austin Dillon.
Nah.
It's Austin Dillon. Is Austin Dillon a Hall of Famer? He has won 2 championships in the lower series. He's won a 500. He's won a Coke 600. I think what Dillon said of it being the Hall of really good, or I don't know, I forget how exactly you worded it, but
I
like
said the Hall of Average.
the Hall of Average. It doesn't feel like to me the Hall of Fame is the top, like the top tier of drivers. I do agree that we let too many people in. I think with the standard that we've set in history, Allgaier deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But at the same time, I mean, Ricky Stenhouse is probably going to get in the Hall of Fame then. Ricky Stenhouse had a ton of success in the lower series. He's won a 5. Has he won 2 500s or just one?
2 500s, yeah. These two.
Yeah. So I
No,
mean,
1
He's
500.
won one.
2 Daytona
one, and then he
races.
won. Okay, yeah, okay. I knew he won at
Okay.
Daytona twice. I just didn't remember
Yeah,
which
'cause
one
he
it
won there
was.
in the 17 car.
So I mean, I think we're just kind of adding this narrative, that I don't think it was the worst take in the world. I really don't think it was the worst take in the world. I think trying to deliver it to Dale Jr. is probably what made it a bad take. Because if I'm being 100% honest, I don't think Dale Jr.'s accomplishments on track. I don't think he deserves to be a Hall of Famer, in my personal opinion. Um, he didn't necessarily have a ton of success in the Cup Series. So if we're going to treat the Cup Series like the highest, you know, the highest in stock car racing, then I think that they should have the nod, like Dylan said. Like that should weigh more than what they do in the lower series. Um, I think if you get guys that are extremely dominant in lower series, then yeah, put them in, which Allgaier has been. He is a champion. I think if he does get another championship, that really kind of secures that. But I don't think he's the guy that I don't think he's in the O'Reilly series because he can't be in the Cup series talent wise. I think it's more of a at first it was opportunity. He raced for some, pretty low end teams. And now it's just kind of, he's older. If the owners want a younger person that they can, you know, get going for a career in this. So I think Allgaier does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but I think the question that we really need to start asking is, do the people that we're inducting every year deserve to be in there?
I agree. I mean, I'd like to add a little something. Like, I feel like the problem with the NASCAR Hall of Fame is like you don't really have a standard or like a guideline to go off of. Like, are we just going off like accomplishments on the track? Are we doing like how they grew the sport, like their brand, like how popular they were? Like, there's no like set in stone thing to like how we determine a man driver is a Hall of Famer. You know?
Man. And I said the same thing about Jeff Burton for this year. I mean, I think he had an okay career at best. But off the track, I mean, what he's doing for NASCAR now, as much as he's pushing and really pushed for safety when we brought the next gen car in and how many questions there were with it, I think what he's done off the track and for NASCAR like that is more of an accomplishment than what he did on the track. But yeah, I think we definitely let too many people in. I don't want to carry on with this question too much because I have 2 more still. And I'm going to go ahead and knock this one off, DA. I think you're going to like this one.
Okay.
KB's getting pretty pissed off.
Mhm.
I don't think he's going back to RCR. So where's he end up in 2027?
Ooh, that's a great question. That's a great question. For me, what I see is like maybe another Spire car potentially. I could see him doing something like that. You know? And like the most drastic one, the most one I think like is like not really in the realm of possibility, but on a weird off chance it could, he replaces Bowman in that 48, like a homecoming type deal. But
I'm coming home.
yeah. I mean, those are really, like the most like 2 options I seem like are the most fit though. Like I just think he's still gonna rock with Chevy, to be honest.
Yeah, I think isn't Suarez on a prove it deal year?
Mhm.
I mean, he's running good though. That's a tough one. I don't see him going back to Hendrick, but I also don't see him going back to RCR either. I guess you would have to say Spire almost, or Legacy, maybe
Oh God, no,
with their
please.
third car, maybe
I don't
possibly.
see him going back to Toyota. I just don't see with how it
I think
ended. I just don't
actually,
see
you know, what? I think the 71. I think McDowell and Suarez are both out of there.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wow. Okay. Cody,
Jeez.
what are your
Okay.
thoughts?
That's a concern for sure. Um, I think I think with going off of what DJ just said, I think McDowell is too strong of a competitor as in helping people grow, like the younger people, especially with how he's been in the Cup Series recently. He started to understand the next gen cars the most out of a lot of like the midfielders. I feel like McDowell is pretty strong at figuring out the cars that he needs to figure out on a week to week basis. I think Suarez, if he continues to run this good, I think obviously, if he wins, I don't see him getting out of the 7. I think even if he makes a chase, I think he still has a spot there. Personally, in my opinion, I think because he didn't make the chase last year, did he? Or the playoffs, I guess it was. But yeah,
He
so
was like
like he's on
way
a
out.
prove year, I think. But I think if he can at least make the chase this year, especially with it, how it being consistent is what matters, and every point matters as well. I think he can stay there. And honestly, I mean, there's just no other team I see him going to, like, unless he goes back to Toyota, which that's just there's no way that happens. Like, there's no way with how it ended. There's no way he goes back to Toyota to go to Legacy. But I mean, I'd love it for him to come back to Toyota and drive for Legacy. That'd be pretty sick for an LMC fan myself. But I think he honestly, with everything that's going on, I feel like he can honestly end up in the 48, in my opinion.
All right.
Okay, what about that? I don't know what Noah Gregson's contract is, but could you see the 4 car?
No.
Also, Kyle Busch mentoring Coast and Horse car, that would be awesome. So
So
I hope that happens.
so he has 4 options actually, based on contracts. The 48 is one of them. The 7 is one of them. The third LCM or LMC car, and then the 21 car of the Wood Brothers. Okay, based on contracts. The most likely, I think, is the 7. I think the most interesting would be the 48. The least likely would be the 21. But I also don't necessarily not see that as well because of, like, it's a Hall of Fame team, Hall of Fame driver, like sending him home type deal. I don't think he's would be good with Ford, but that's just. But I think the one that is interesting, I think, is the third Legacy Motor Club car, just because I think realistically he wants to be back with Toyota, just based off of like things that he notices in that stable. But I think realistically he goes to the 48.
So I'm hearing all you all say these things, and I don't have a ton of inside information on this one, but I have heard a little rumor from a NASCAR garage uh, that one spot was overlooked. I think there's 5 possible outcomes, and the more I'm hearing about it, is the more truthful it is that Ryan Blaney is on a contract year.
ooh,
And
really?
apparently, Kyle and Mr. Penske uh, have a decent relationship from back when Kurt was still there. Um, and there are rumors that if Blaney does end up leaving to go to Hendrick, which would be groundbreaking. That would be absolutely crazy. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's a small likelihood that if he does go, that KB would be the first option to go to Penske.
Yo,
Bro, that
listen, him
Dude.
and Joey Logano as teammates would be the funniest thing I've ever seen. Also, secondly, if Ryan Blaney goes to Hendrick Motorsports, okay, let's just say that has got to
Powerhouse.
be the best 4-car team we have ever seen. Ever seen.
Ever.
Just the
That is a
skill,
four-headed
the
monster.
short tracks skill of Ryan Blaney, the 1.5-mile skill from Larson, well, everywhere, but Byron's consistency, Chase's speed and consistency when he's up there, like that could be your
Dude, that's
2015 to
a dream.
2017 Joe Gibbs Racing, like that is like that good. But anyways, that's sorry.
That would be a crazy team.
I do think
it's highly, it's highly unlikely that does happen, but it is, from what I'm hearing, it is pretty truthful that Blaney is on a contract year, so that'll be something to that'll be fun to watch. I think for me, the most realistic place, I think he ends up in the 7. But I think Suarez is doing well enough this year that he gets a ride somewhere again next year if he continues the way he is. But I don't think Spire can pass up the opportunity. If you can choose between Daniel Suarez and Kyle Busch, I think financially it's a smarter decision to choose Kyle Busch just because of the fan base and everything you can make off of sponsorship with him and off of all the merch and everything. My last question. Oh, go ahead. If you have something else.
I was about to say, I see a lot of 77 merch all the time, by the way. Like, I like Carson Hocevar. I do. I think he's so entertaining. And I think he's really good. But if you had the 8 merch, like of Kyle Busch's merch, because we see him, he's like 5th on the list right now. Dude, Spire is going to make some money. Go ahead.
My last question. It's actually not NASCAR related, but Easter's coming up, so I wanted to know, what are your favorite Easter activities from your childhood?
My childhood, huh?
That was like 50 years ago.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm freaking 23 years old, man. Hardly remember anything nowadays, but as a kid, I know as a young kid, I mean, of course, the hunting for Easter eggs for fun as heck, just having all these fun activities with like your family, and just hanging out together, having a nice family dinner. I mean, I would say those are like the best moments for me.
I liked finding the golden egg, bro. I wanted the money. But truthfully, it was probably like dyeing. I don't know if y'all did that, but dyeing eggs with my brothers. I really enjoyed that.
Kevin's face, you said dying, and then you paused, and Dylan was like, whoa.
I was like, no, he resurrected, dude. He didn't die. This is not what he did.
Nah, but that was probably it for me.
Thought we were about to get a Mike Joy moment. Whoa!
Oh, Lordy.
Take a look at what he did.
Mike Joy when Jesus rises.
Whoa!
Not Mike Joy, but take a look at what he did.
Hold on.
We them boys.
Dylan, if you ever have a kid, you gotta say that your wife is having the kid.
Jesus is back.
Take
baby.
a look at what I did.
Dude, Clint Boyer, if he was there when Jesus rose, I think he would have been like, well, where's all the fish? Like my brother. Really? I tweeted at him so much during the race, by the way. I was so angry that he randomly would just be like, well, there's Ryan Blaney. What did that have to do with anything on the broadcast? I know I say it
But
every
would be
week.
asking all those questions, and Kevin would be like, "And we have a real kerfuffle here."
Yeah, I'm. There's a
You're
meme like
losing the plot.
there's a meme. You know what? It doesn't matter. Cody, answer the question.
I would say probably like when I was, I mean, I definitely finding the golden egg or just like spending time with family. That would be mine. But like me and my cousin would always like fight over the golden egg. It was kind of funny. It'd be funny every year. So that's what kind of made my year for Easter.
Growing up, so actually, we were at a different church than we are now. They would do a huge Easter egg hunt, like like we had like acres of land at the church, and it was for like different age groups as well. So it wasn't just like high schoolers to all the way to elementary. We would just do like kindergarten through second, and then second through or third through sixth or whatever. That was probably the best moments because like you would just go out there and run like and as a kid you had no idea what you were looking for. You were just like, I'm running, this is it. And you see an egg, you're like, dude, I found it. And then you look at your parents, you're like, is this the golden? And you're like, no, keep going. And so but I think that moment, like I remember walking over the golden egg and my parents being so disappointed. Not disappointed, like in the sense of like, but like they literally like saw it and they were like, "Come on, how'd you miss that?" And they're not they ain't trying to like cause any drama or anything, but the person who walked behind me picked it up. Like it was that bad. But that is my favorite moment. How about yours?
Me personally, I hated the smell of it, but I loved dyeing Easter eggs. Like I used to love like just trying to like put like the cool designs on it, like whatever the crayon was that you could like draw on it before you dunked it in, that like it wouldn't actually dye that part. So I used to love like I used to try to like draw a Jeff Gordon car on the freaking egg and then dye it like blue and yellow. Which ended up being more like a West Virginia color than it did a Jeff Gordon scheme, but we tried. I, I'm artistic, but with a U and not an R. So I mean, I struggle with that. But yeah, dyeing Easter eggs was definitely my favorite. Other than that, yeah, I never ate the eggs because I don't like hard boiled eggs, but I hated the smell of dyeing them. But trying to design them was pretty fun.
Bro, then it would like stain your hands too.
Oh man.
Yeah, usually spring
He
break
just
also.
looked at it. Hunter, DJ said that Hunter just looked at his hand, just
No,
like as like it was
I
done.
was looking. I was looking at Jeff.
Okay, okay. I was like,
I did that last week.
I was like, I tried to dye your car, buddy. It didn't work.
look at
No,
from the
it
angle
doesn't.
he's swinging.
It's not on my hand.
Oh Lord.
Well,
We are
we
losing the
have
plot.
we have 18 minutes before we all have to race. So we will move into the weekend. Thank you for all those questions. Those are great. Good time. Anything we like to add on the podcast before we go to our picks? Anything you want to say? Alrighty.
No.
Well, we will move in to our picks. Let me know when you can see the screen.
I think see
You
Hardy's.
can.
Okay, good.
See Hardy, yep.
And here is the standings.
Got a points leader.
DJ is leading still with 41 points. 1 point behind is Hunter Baker. I am 8 points behind, tied with Cody. 7 points behind with DA and DD. And then Damon he's floating down by the creek. He's not even close. He has 28 points. But I never get his pick until afterwards. That's probably why he's down there. But we do have racing this week. We do not have the Cup Series since it is Easter weekend. We will have Rockingham with the truck race and the O'Reilly race. The truck race is on Friday. Really? I thought it would be on Saturday. That's so weird. Anyways, April 3rd, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on FS1. It is the Black Tire 200 for 200 laps. And, we'll just get right into the win pick. Well,
It's me.
I
Right.
actually have DCD's truck pick. What the heck? He sent me 2. Oh, I guess. Oh, for David. I guess he picked Hocevar first.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah. Perfect. So making sure though, it is my turn now, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No,
Yeah,
perfect.
take him.
I'll take Corey Heim to win this race. Pretty easy pick.
Well, you know what? I'll go with someone that ran better than Corey Heim last year. I'll take Daniel Hammer.
You said
You said
Hemrick. I'm actually gonna write these down for once. That'd be great.
Good job.
My win pick is going to be Lane Riggs.
I think my win pick. I think he's in a. I'm not. Obviously, he's not in the must win, but I think after his performance and temper tantrum at Darlington, he needs to lock in this week. I'm gonna take Caden Honeycutt.
Christ, dude. Uh, who do I take?
You still have a couple good options. You have
The truck
Sammy.
champion's still there.
Shout out Step Bro. We're taking Chandler Smith.
Shout out Step Bro is crazy. Alrighty, and now
Uncle Chandler, dude.
Now it's down to the O'Reilly win pick, and that's all we have for this week.
Mhm.
It is. Sorry, changing it down. It is on Saturday, April 4th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the CW. It is the North Carolina Education Lottery 250, presented by Black Tire.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, 250 laps for 235 miles. And I will tell you DCD's win pick here in a second. Parker Retzloff.
Bastard.
For my
DA, who do
pick,
you got?
I'm going to go ahead and take Carson Quaffle to win this race.
Well,
Nice.
personally, I'm frustrated because I was going to go Parker Retzloff, and the dumb boy took him. So that's unfortunate.
Y'all hate me.
I don't know what to talk about, man. I mean, hopefully he doesn't cheat this year. We're going to go Jesse Love.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, this one gets stolen.
Corey Day is going to get his
Ooh.
first win.
Bro,
in the
come
O'Reilly.
on, man. Jesus Christ.
I honestly think
knew I
you
should-
all are just a bunch of idiots, or you just don't check the entry list. But Cletus McFarland is racing this week. He's not going to win, but he is racing.
Yeah, okay.
Give me Justin Allgaier.
Dude.
That's a safe pick.
why am I going to pass on the dude that keeps winning?
Yeah, I shouldn't have wrote nobody down because literally every single one of them got taken except for Parker Retzloff. So we love that. Give me the guy who got the win, Sammy Smith.
Gotcha.
We're doubling up on the Smiths this week.
Yeah. Big Smith guy. I can see it.
Mhm.
Well, there it is. That is our picks for this weekend. I thought the O'Reilly raced on Sunday. I guess they moved it back because they didn't want to race on Easter. But I remember last year they raced on Sunday. Well, anything y'all would like to add?
I do have one thing.
Yes.
Everybody, please raise your hand if your favorite driver has won this year in Cup. Oh, just us? Crazy.
Yeah, my
That's not
bad.
fair, dude. I'm held back by terrible equipment.
Hey,
Alright.
DA, raise your hand if your driver has more than 2 Cup Series championships, or more than one.
Oh yeah.
That's like
Yeah, we
more than
can't even
2. I
count
can't
now.
break my hand then, bud.
Raise your hand if your driver's been suspended for more than one race.
I think if I spin for 1. I don't know about more than 1. I could be wrong.
Yeah, go ahead, DJ. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think I can hear you, Kyle.
Yeah, I think we can hear him. We do have one thing that we end off. Is your ball here?
It is here.
Yeah, we
What
haven't
did-
seen this in
Oh,
weeks,
yes,
man.
dude. No, we saw it
What-
last
Oh,
week.
it was here.
Yeah.
It was here
We
last
seen
week.
it
That's
last
the
week,
reason
you just
KB
weren't
didn't
here.
finish on the lead
Yeah,
lap.
oh,
It
yeah.
was all your fault.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
airballed
would.
both of them. I airballed both of them. I need to get redemption tonight. What is the implications for this shot?
Kyle Busch
I
is
think for
running
this week, if you hit this shot, KB announces that he's leaving RCR at the end of the
Bro,
season.
he's draining it. He's draining it.
Bro, you gotta just lay it up.
We gotta-
Bro, he's
If-
locked
if-
in.
It has to
If
be a
you
shot.
miss this, he's staying at RCR.
We gotta lock in, boys. Okay.
He's
We got-
Game 7 Halliburton locked in right now.
Hopefully, I don't tear anything today.
Homie is UConn right now.
All right, let's get it.
Locked.
What?
Call
What
him
did I
R.
just
Kelly
say?
because he is locked. Call him Yukon.
You can suck on these.
No, okay, dude.
I got someone at work today too. Oh,
Yep,
yo!
he's staying. He's staying.
We're in hell, purgatory forever. What are my values? What is life?
Where's my values?
What do I continue living? And why?
Oh,
This pain.
Dude, the way it bounced off the room.
Hey, it was better than last week's shot, though.
yeah.
It was better
Really
than
thought he was
last
going to sit
Yeah,
down and
you
just log
airballed
off
that.
right there.
I almost thought about it actually. Like I actually thought about just like click. No, but that ball acted like KB at Kansas a couple years ago with Briscoe. It was like right there and then just fell off.
Yep. Yep. Keep
Man,
floating
these
on,
Hendrick
boys.
fans are on one this week.
Yeah.
Feel the
Hey,
best.
hey.
They're on it.
Speaking of Hendrick, have we heard anything? Is Bowman still scheduled to come back after the break, or
Well, he's still missing Bristol.
Nothing.
They said
He's
nothing
missing Bristol?
confirmed.
Yeah, they said
Yeah.
he won't come back till after Bristol.
I was hearing
Oh,
rumors he
I
might
thought he was
miss
coming back.
all April.
I don't think he comes back until like the summer.
He'll eventually be good to Vertigo.
Yeah. Vertigo's a really cool map in BO2, by the way.
We're
Alex
losing
Bowman's
the
head right now.